As in this alternate timeline, Lucifer would be evil, as, well, you would expect, except in this show, apparently. As Lucifer had a daughter with Lilith, but Lilith didn't like his plan, so she would leave. Lucifer wasn't interested in ruling hell. He wanted more. He wanted to control earth and heaven, so he would spend years, centuries on a plan to take it over, and he finally had one. As Lucifer would make sure to coddle Charlie to make sure she's nice and sweet. Charlie had potential like him, and if she was a fighter, she could overthrow him, so he made sure to make sure Charlie had a good heart as a mechanism so he would always be on top. And he would play an act when he was around her, manipulating her the whole time. As years would pass, Lucifer would agree to the exorcism. Unknown to Adam, though, Lucifer cast a spell, which allows him to absorb the energy from anyone who perishes on hell's soil. And he can even take energy from someone he took. This would make him stronger and stronger and stronger. Normally, sinners don't perish, but when they're slain by an exorcist, they do. This made all the power go straight to Lucifer, as every exorcism, he only grew in strength. And he was waiting for the time to take out Adam, the time to take over heaven. As then we cut to Charlie, as everything would play like in canon, until Charlie would call Lucifer. As Lucifer felt the power incoming, he looked at the phone, looking at Charlie's contact. As he sighed, usually he was charismatic, usually he always had a plan, but now he was going to act the buffoon. He put on an act around Charlie so she can trust him, and so she can feel bad for him, so she can let her guard down, and Lucifer can manipulate her easier. As Lucifer put this all into motion, the day she was born. As then Lucifer would answer and say, "Charlie, how are you doing?" Lucifer acted like an idiot, just like in canon, until Charlie decided to let him join the hotel, and then she hung up. A hotel to redeem sinners, such a dumb idea, but then he smirked. This could go perfectly. This hotel can make Adam attack, and he can get what he wants. As then he went to the hotel. As Lucifer went in this timeline, there was, Lucifer owned Aleister's soul. There's a theory that he kind of does because Aleister hates him. I don't really believe that, but for this video, he does. As then Lucifer and Aleister would meet alone, and Lucifer would say, "How's the plan going?" "Good. Soon, I want you to reveal to her that angels can be hurt, so she gets an army." Aleister would say, "Why don't you do that?" As Aleister would be talking to Lucifer and Aleister had a weird relationship. Aleister and Lucifer would always pretend to hate each other whenever they were in public. Lucifer in this timeline was a genius. Now, Lucifer probably isn't dumb in the has-been timeline, but, he always has to... Basically, he's very depressed, and that makes him not really care, so he doesn't really act in these great grand schemes. Unlike here, where this Lucifer would always be scheming and always be 2 steps ahead. As Lucifer would say, "Well, it's simple. We have to pretend to hate each other so no one would know that we're working together. And for your question, I can't let the dots be connected to me. I can't let Charlie think that it was my idea. If so, it could hurt the contract I signed, and what I do next won't be pinned to me. Charlie, never know I had anything to do with this, understood? I'm just someone that supported her after a while." Aleister would nod and say, "Understood." Lucifer would then think of an idea. How could he get Adam riled up? How could he get Adam to want to attack the hotel? If Charlie interfered with his business, so then he would smirk. As Lucifer would go to Charlie and say, "Hey, I changed my mind. I think I have the perfect way to support this hotel." As then, Charlie would get super excited, as Lucifer would agree to have Charlie have a meeting in heaven. In this timeline, it was Lucifer's idea, as Charlie was desperate and didn't come up with the idea herself. Charlie would say, "Thank you, Dad," as Lucifer would say, "No problem." As they would sing the song like in canon, Charlie would then leave, go to heaven. As she did everything in canon, we cut to Lucifer. Lucifer needed power for this battle. Lucifer kept the 7 deadly sins. He promised them great power when they went to hell with him. And he did deliver. However, his real plan was to steal all their power and energy, so he called a meeting for them one by one. The first one to meet with him was Beelzebub, as she would say, "It's nice to meet you, sir. So why'd you call me, for a party?" Lucifer would say, "Something like that." As Beelzebub would look at Lucifer and say, "So, what do you want to do?" Lucifer would say, "I'm proud of you. You've gotten a lot stronger. I'm glad I picked you. At first, I doubted myself picking a party animal, but now I can see I went right. You really established thing in your ring. But if it makes you feel better, I'll keep all the things you built. Your legacy will be remembered, and for a time, people won't even know you're gone, until I show them my true colors." Beelzebub would say, "What are you talking about?" Suddenly, Lucifer would punch Beelzebub, sending her flying, as then he would fly over and begin to punch her again and again and again. She would try to shoot hot honey at him and try to transform, but Lucifer would grab her, stopping her, as Beelzebub would say, "Why? Why are you doing this?" As Lucifer would then grab Beelzebub by the head, and Beelzebub would say, "What are you doing?" Lucifer would say, "Taking your power." As Lucifer would begin to absorb her power, Beelzebub would struggle. Beelzebub would fight, as she would scream, she would cry, "Why? Why? I was loyal to you. I ran away from heaven with you. You promised us all. You promised 7 of us to build a better world, to build a better future." Lucifer would say, "I can't believe you believe that crap. I'm Lucifer, the devil, and you trusted me? That's the earliest trick in the book. Don't trust the devil, dummy. Now I'll take your soul." Well, I guess we don't have souls. "I'll take your life force," or whatever. As then Lucifer would absorb her power. As she fell to the floor, no longer with us, Lucifer would begin to laugh, as this power felt incredible, as now he can make powerful substances like honey and other things to lure people in and control them. And he also has a better fighting prowess. As Beelzebub was a strong and fast fighter, he gained all of her speed. And now it's time for the next 7 deadly sins. As Lucifer invited sin after sin, he would absorb them, take all of their power, take all of their energy, even the lust. He wanted all the power that was possible, not just the power of fighting, but the power of luring, the power of gluttony, the power of sloth. All these powers could feed him. All these powers could make him stronger. He was the king of hell. It was time for him to take all those powers. And now, there was one that was left. Someone who was the strongest, the power of wrath. He saved him for last. Lucifer knew he could beat him alone, but it would be hard. But with all these other sins' powers, it should make it quite a bit easier. Satan would go and talk to Lucifer. Lucifer pretended to do this depressed act for so long. Lucifer made himself look weak and pathetic. He did all of this to make it so the other sins underestimated him. Lucifer always was 2 steps ahead, and he didn't care about his ego, he didn't care about his pride, all he cared about was power, and he was always playing the long game. Satan and the rest of the sins were playing checkers, while Lucifer was always playing chess. As suddenly Lucifer, after getting down and crying, Satan would then look at him, confused. Lucifer would say, "Satan, can you do something for me?" Satan would say anything. But in actuality, Satan was ready to betray him, seeing how weak he was. As Lucifer planned, Lucifer would smirk and say, "You thought this was me, didn't you?" As then, with Satan's guard down, Lucifer would then attack him with tons of power. He would make hot honey like lava around his fist as he punched Satan over and over again, making him fall down. Then use the power of lust to make him start to feel love, making his anger lessen, making it so he couldn't tap into his power as much. Satan would say, "What is this?" Lucifer would then say, "It's your demise." As he kicked him down and absorbed all of his energy, he felt the power coursing through his veins, but then he could feel Charlie fighting Adam. He couldn't be late to this. He quickly flew over, almost not making it his time, as he showed up to save Charlie, just like in canon. But this time, Lucifer would be relentless, as he ruthlessly beat Adam down, then grabbed his head and began to absorb his power. Charlie was shocked. She would say, "Where'd you learn that, Dad?" As then, Lucifer would stick his hand through her chest, shocking everyone, as he would slowly absorb her power. Charlie would say, "What are you doing?" "Taking out the trash. You served your usefulness, but now that you've seen my true colors, I must get rid of you." As then Vaggy would say, "She was your daughter, how could you?" As suddenly Lucifer would erase her instantly with a beam. As then he would feel Adam's and Charlie's power course inside of him, as he would fly to heaven and begin to destroy it. Lucifer would tear down heaven with these powers and tear down hell and destroy everything and rebuild it into his image. Lucifer would become the ultimate lord, the ultimate king of humanity, and all he had to do was sacrifice his army, his friends, and his daughter. I'll leave things off. This is who suggested this. Thank you so much. I kind of had fun with this because Lucifer, he's a great character in the show. You know, he's just like this dad who's kind of sad, lost his daughter, and he's just all alone. Well, what if that was just an act? What if he was fooling everyone? He had the most sinister plan of them all, to wipe everyone out and start over again. Just destroy it and rebuild. After all, that's what he did when he made Adam and Eve eat the apple. They got casted out of the Garden of Eden, and the whole plan for humanity was rebuilt from the ashes, and everything had to start over again. So that's what he wants to do, start all over again and have him be the leader, to recreate it. After all, he didn't create mankind. He didn't create these things. He needs to create it himself, so he needs to wipe it out so he can make something. I feel like that's like kind of the idea I had, but like I kind of went with another direction, just have him, you know, destroy everything and become like a one-man army by absorbing power. I think it went really well. I really did enjoy that. I hope you all enjoyed this too. I hope it wasn't like too shocking or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't even that bad. I've done worse. I've definitely pushed the boundary before, and I found out. Because let me tell you, on this platform, you can only go so far, you know what I mean? Like my older videos, I would say some things that I don't say anymore. I'm surprised that passed back then. And that was only like a few months ago. Nowadays, I can't do that. It would not pass. So I don't know what the heck is going on. But there is one thing I know, and that is you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being here for me. It really means the world to me. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. It really makes a smile to my face. Peace out. Have an amazing day.